So here we go, this is video log number 1. I'm just heading off into the Kaimanawa range to walk the Thunderbolt Urchin loop. The weather's actually holding up. I hope it doesn't rain. It will suck if it does. And I might end up coming home if it doesn't pan out well. I'm just heading down the gravel road at the moment to the start of the trail, so I haven't even reached the trail yet. Anyway, I'll update you soon. So I've got to the trailhead now. 2 to 3 hours to the bushline and 6 to 8 hours to the hut. But I reckon I can do it quicker than that. Here we go, coming out onto the ridge, out of the bushline. About an hour ago. It took me about 5 hours in total, so I'm pretty happy with that. Part of me was thinking about keeping going, but there's a bunch of nice people at the hut, so I'll hang out with them for the evening and head off tomorrow. I'm not certain if I'll head up onto the ridgeline again and go over Thunderbolt, or whether I'll follow the river. Yeah, you can follow the river valley all the way back to where I parked the car, so that would be kind of cool. In the meantime, I'm going to go for a swim, cool off, wash off a little bit. So it's almost 6:30 in the morning and I'm just heading away from the hut. I didn't end up sleeping in the hut last night. My plan to stay was a bit of a bad call. There ended up being 21 people at a 12 bunk hut. So I got my tent out and slept in my tent. First night sleeping under my new homemade quilt, which was awesome. I was totally warm enough, but I did wish I had my pad straps just to hold it in place a little bit. Today I'm going to head up Thunderbolt and over the top back down to the river. Maybe back to the car depending on how quickly I walk. Nothing like starting the day off with a nice river crossing though. It's really, really cold. I've just come out above the bushline. It was a pretty hard slog up the hill. It was pretty overgrown and lots of bush bashing involved. I actually got my legs a little bit sunburnt yesterday, and so having branches hit my legs constantly was a bit painful. But hopefully I'm out of that now. I should be up on the tops for the rest of the day, which is going to be stinking hot. I'm currently carrying 4.5 litres of water, so that should be fine to get me over back down to the next water source. So I'm on the top of Thunderbolt, which is the highest point that I'm going to get to this week. The clouds have cleared and it's looking really cool up here. So here's my home for the night. It's still a little bit damp from yesterday, so I haven't put everything out inside yet. There's the track to head away tomorrow, and then over there's the river. It's a pretty nice spot. I've just spent the last hour or so talking to a hunter who's just heading up the way I've come. So it's only 6:45 and I'm already in bed for the night. It was a huge day today. I walked for 9 hours, but it was really tough and I'm really exhausted. There's no one else at this campsite, so I've got the place to myself at the moment, but maybe somebody else will arrive later. In the meantime, I'm just going to read my book and go to sleep. So it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's been raining all night, but I'm awake now, and it's only going to take me about 3 hours to get back to the car, so I may as well get moving. I've been climbing all morning, and the weather couldn't be any more different than yesterday. It's like I'm in a giant cloud. Everything's damp. I can just smell the wet wool of my shirt. There's the river down there where I was camped last night. I've pretty much just walked straight uphill for the last hour and a half. So I finally reached the ridgeline after a pretty steep climb up. Up to the summit of Urchin. Oh yeah. This looks like there's a truck up here. It's for the day. I have to imagine there's some beautiful views. Normally, right now, there's not much of anything up here. So I just got back to the road end, and I think I've got about a 3-kilometre walk to get back to my car now, which is a bit lame, but it's alright. It's road walking, it's easy. Maybe somebody will drive out and give me a ride at the same time. My hair is driving me nuts.